What's going on, everybody? I hope you're doing fantastic out there. So today we've got a couple of veiled beauties from Vero. So one I picked up at Blade Show, Texas. I have been dying to do this video, but I've just had a crazy backlog, so I'm finally getting around to that. And it just so happened that it worked out to be going with a video from, or a loaner from a good friend of mine. So let's go ahead. First one I'm going to break into is this one. So with this, it comes from a good friend of mine, Tison Trading Co. So I'm going to have all of his information down below in the description. So he also runs a group, and I seem to have lost the sticker. It might be in here. Let's check. Hold on. Negative. Okay. So anyway, he also runs a Facebook group called Lyfe. So again, that'll be down below as well. Great group of folks there. But he has some really amazing stuff, and he does a lot of wheeling and dealing, as the name suggests, Tison Trading Company. So definitely check him out. Again, links will be below. And like I said, we have him to thank for this beautiful Vero here. All right, so as you may or may not be aware, with Veros, the patch that you have on the outside of the pouch here is showing you what knife you have. So this is the Impulse, you can tell by the Tonto blade, and this is the non-inlaid version, so it's a full titanium back. Of course, that's the Veil model is done that way. So inside with them, you do get a spec sheet or a card. It's the birth certificate, if you will. So as you can tell, this is the Veil Hex DLC. This is their 3rd generation Bullerium 390. And see, they also have, let's see, what's this one? Also, that's right, he did upgrade this one with skiffs. So this one does have skiff washers installed. Then you also have a blue Vero, I was about to say, I know it says Vero on here somewhere. There we go. A Vero microfiber. All right, let's get that off to the side there. So take a look at this beautiful Impulse. So I love the hex on this. So we'll go ahead and zoom in here. So you've got the DLC titanium with the lasered and anodized hex pattern. You can see it just has kind of a blues and greens and everything there. And of course your DLC hardware. There's your flipper tab. This is number 755. So you've got that minimum flipper tab that Vero is very well known for. This one's super clean. You don't have, because this is a right hand only knife, you do not have anything here. So it is not made to flip with your thumb. Taking a look at your hardware, again, all DLC hardware. Blade centering is spot on as to be expected with Vero. And there you have your only other markings other than the blade steel, which we'll see here in just a minute. That says Vero there. Then on your pocket clip, you do have the traditional Vero pocket clip, a milled titanium pocket clip that honestly, with just regular glance, it doesn't look like a milled clip, and it does have some good spring to it. So again, this one is the full frame lock, so a 1/4 length back spacer, of course titanium. Let's go ahead and get this blade out here. So there is your really beautiful Tonto blade. It's a kind of a mix between a Japanese and American Tonto, because it does have plenty of belly here. So, but you've got a more defined transition and less of a compound grind. So very interesting take on the Tonto blade, or Tanto blade, however the hell you're supposed to say it. Of course, flat grinds. DLC has some texture to it. And then there you got your jimping on the back, number 775. So if I'm not mistaken, let's see, does this not have... Okay, so it doesn't actually have the blade steel on it. I couldn't remember if they did or not. Now on the other side here, You do have your fuller-ish. It's not really fuller because it doesn't run length. It's not a blade hole because it doesn't go all the way through. Your blade opening mechanism. There you go. I love how they do these. It's one of the things I absolutely love about Vero. I was really hoping to pry this out of my friend's hands, but alas, he does not want to sell it. He wants to trade it. So if you are in the market for one of these, hit up Tison's Trading Company. Chances are he might still have it, and if you've got something that catches his interest, he will probably work something out with you. Great dude. So, again, we're just taking a look at this thing. Let's go ahead and look at our grinds. There we go. Try to get them in the right lighting. So, a little shallow there on the back end. Everything looks good there. Looks like a really great solid grind. It's actually even, so it does look a little shallow, but it's mirrored on this side, so it looks good there. All the grind looks great. Let's take a look at our tip. Spot on perfect. I mean, like, that is fantastic. Just perfect. All right. Now this knife is, from what I understand, to be a brand new bot or brand new knife. So let's check the edge here. Try to do a little bit of shaving. See if we'll shave. It does shave a little bit. So it is a fairly thick blade. As you can see there, it's not a super thin, super slicey blade, but it is exceptionally sharp, even for, like I said, for a thicker blade like this, to just push cut right through this paper is a really good sign. And then, of course, it did a little bit of shaving there. So no complaints there whatsoever. We'll just slide this off to the side. Action on these things is always killer, just especially this one because it has skiffs in it, which there is a little bit of misconception on the skiff bearings. It will help with overall smoothness of the knife sometimes, but the main reason you want to do the skiff bearings, and I know I'm kind of going off track here a little bit, but sorry, jump cut, I know, but I accidentally hit the stop button instead of the zoom button. So if we look here on your standard bearings that come in a knife, they are a stamped bearing. So you see that they are just pieces of brass that are stamped around the bearings, the ball bearings. So one side, and hold on a second, let me get one out of here just so you can actually see it. There we go. So your one side is going to be flat with the ceramic balls in there, or steel, depending on the knife, but most use ceramics now. And then the other side, you can see how that's stamped around. So this gives you a slightly less stable platform for holding or for stabilizing the blade around the pivot. Whereas the skiffs are a solid machined piece of brass, and then they are the balls are pressed in, and then they have it's just a way better, a way nicer system. But anyway, it does help, but you do have a fantastic reverse flick on this guy. And then just the flipper action when you're not holding onto the frame lock works fantastic. So again, that's a kind of a casualty of doing so many different knives, is sometimes you forget to not be pressing on the frame lock. So of course, being a frame lock, it is going to be pressure sensitive there on the lock bar. So you want to keep your hands off of that at all costs. Other than that, I mean, just I absolutely love these Veros. I like, kind of chunkier, a little heavier blades, and these certainly fit the bill. Now, they have some very, very light, very nimble, very agile looking blades, but I do like these kind of chunkier ones. So with that being said, this is not a light knife. It is 5.7 ounces. So again, not a light boy at all. Not throw my scale into the floor. And then it is, I believe these are a 3.5 inch blade, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, right at a 3.5 inch cutting edge, and right at 8.5 inch overall. So again, not a small knife at all. Fantastic hand feel. I've never had an issue with the Vero. So really fell in love with Vero when I got my Vero Axon that I got from my buddy Colin, who did a very awesome anodizing job on it. You guys have already seen that. If you haven't, then be on the lookout for the full collection video coming eventually once we hit 1,000 subscribers. But anyway, that when I got that knife in hand, it's something I had been wanting to get my hands on one and just had never gotten one. And then getting that knife in hand, it feels solid. There's just no other way to explain it. They just feel absolutely solid. Extremely well made. I can't remember who their OEM is, but it's got to be somebody. If I can figure it out, or if I figure it out, I'll put it up here. But their OEM does a fantastic job, and Joseph's design work is just really incredible. At least it is for me. It's like everything else, it's not going to be for everybody, but I just absolutely love that look. So, all right, let's go ahead and break into the next one here. So this one is my personal knife. So this is the one of the 3 knives, I think it was, that I personally picked up at Blade Show, Texas. So I've had this patch on my backpack for pretty much ever since then, and so I've been without this knife for quite a while, just because it's been sitting over here waiting to get a video done. So I'm happy to have it back into the collection. Again, same kind of thing. You've got your card that lets you know what you've got. You got the black wash, veil circles. This is the 3rd generation of the Synapse XL. Again, same thing. You get your cloth, and then I actually don't know what's in here. Oh, that's just the bag. That was just the bag the knife came in, Brian. Anyway, so go ahead and pull on back into here. So this has the same laser work and the same blue anodization on it, but this is a inlay. So you actually have a titanium inlay on a titanium frame, which is really cool. And again, you've got a very minimal flipper there. This is number 1485. Just fantastic looking, and it has some great texture as well. Now, one thing that's different about this one is, let's see, you got the same titanium backspacer, open construction, all that good stuff. Of course, perfectly centered. Anyway, because it has the inlay, you have a bolster lock instead of a frame lock. This is what really makes me like the Synapse, because I absolutely love bolster locks. It is my favorite lock. Here you've got your same typical Vero pocket clip. Now, this being the Synapse, you have a standard drop point with a really nice swedge. Again, you got that black wash. No markings other than your Vero there and your serial number there. And then on this side, you've got the same fuller-ish thing there. Let's go ahead and take a look at our grinds here. Grinds look fantastic on this side. Take a look on this side here. It looks very even. Perfect. And our tip is perfect. Fantastic stuff all the way around. So I really do like the Synapse. I think I wish they would do a Synapse with the with a different blade shape. So doing something like a Warncliffe or something of that nature, or the sheep's foot blade that they've used before. I just really like the bolster lock. It works really well for me. You've always got really great access, and you can have your fingers here and it doesn't affect the lock bar. So just I love this knife. Now this is a beefy boy, but God, it just fits in the hand. And even that sharpening tool, you can come in right there, and it's just big enough for me to get the tip of my finger in, so I can choke up on it. Now, granted, I have to be careful because I am right there on the cutting edge, but nothing too crazy there. Like I said, now this is a heavy boy, so it is a larger knife. We'll do a size comparison here in a second. I actually think it might be pretty close to the same size as the as the impulse there. So we are at 6.8 ounces on this guy. Again, not a small or light blade. So yeah, they're pretty close to the same size. Actually, they might be the same size. What makes this one a little bit lighter is you got a little thinner handle. And then, you know, you don't have the inlays and stuff like that. So go ahead and just make sure. We'll do a double check on our sizing here. So this one is actually right at 3 3/4 inch blade length and 3 1/2 inch cutting length and 8 3/4 overall. So it is a slightly larger knife. Again, it is slightly heavier, but I've carried this thing. I actually carried it a lot at Blade Show. And as you guys know, I am a basketball short kind of guy. You know, that's my jam. So these things rode in there no problem whatsoever. And I'm sure if I started trying to do jumping jacks or some bullshit, they would probably, you know, it would probably weigh them down. But that's the great thing about being me is I don't do no damn jumping jacks. I probably should. I know, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, fantastic, fantastic knife. God, I love this thing. You know, again, it fits in the hand super well. You get a ton of power behind your cuts with this guy. Let's check the edge. Where'd my paper go? There it is. Now, I have used this guy, but it shouldn't be enough to affect the M390. And, of course, if anything, this one's sharper than the other one there. Yeah, just fantastic. Fantastic edge. Like I said, whoever their OEM is does killer work. This is, like I said, easily one of my top 5 knives in my collection. You know, dang near top 3. It's one I've missed over the last month or so, not being able to carry it because, like I said, I've had it sitting over here waiting to be videoed. Because if I didn't have it over here, it would never get shot. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm not going to draw this out any further. So make sure you do me a favor and go check out my buddy over at Tison Trading. And he is the reason for this knife here being in the video. So huge shout out to him. You know, you guys wish me luck. I'm going to try to wrangle that thing from him. If I can't, then hopefully one of y'all does. Oh, wait, y'all can't see that for shit. There we go. So Tison Trading Company. Again, his links will be down below. You know, definitely check him out. And yeah, just as always, like, comment, share, subscribe. And most importantly, remember to be kind, be humble, and be EDC. Y'all take care.